Okay, our COVID care policy for anybody who comes to us is emailed out about a week in advance of your appointment, and it recommends that you take your temperature for 3 days before your appointment, and we take it also on arrival. Now, in between each client, I've told you all this before, but I'm just going to reiterate it again today. I need 40 minutes even if it's a short procedure, even if whether it's a long or a short procedure, the cleaning of the room in between each client is 40 minutes, regardless of how long you've been with me. The room has to be ventilated, so we go from, having the window closed to keep you warm with an electric blanket on the bed, to opening it up so that I can ventilate the room in between each client, and that takes 40 minutes. Changing the plastic on the couch, wiping all the surfaces with our sprays, cleaning the handles, that's the door handles, cleaning the light switches, cleaning the bathroom in between each client. For those, well, we recommend that you've been to the bathroom before you come, but there are certain people that have to go. Cleaning and wiping the handrail on the stairs on the way up and down. So all the touchable surfaces all have to be cleaned in between each client. I have to do that. That is our COVID care policy. That is government guidelines. That is something that we will and continue to adhere to. So all along, the government guideline was that our client couldn't be in the room for anything longer than 90 minutes. Now, most of our treatments are than an hour, 50 minutes, 40 minutes, some of them. So sorry, I got distracted. Anybody who's coming to us for a step one, I usually recommend that you allocate 2 hours. And it's not that you're going to be under the blade for 2 hours, you're only under the blade for 20 minutes. But we've got photography to do, we've got consultations to do, we've got to go through your consent form, we've got all that sort of takes the time to wrap up, talk to you about your aftercare and so on. And realistically, in order to be it unhurried, we recommend for your step one, this is the longest appointment you'll ever have with us, is that you allow 2 hours. So the government says no, 2 hours is too long, so it has to be 90 minutes. So prior to this, we were doing the consultation part of it via a link on Zoom before you came, and that's not going to be possible now. I don't have the time to give you on Zoom prior to your appointment with us. So we reopen in December 7. So we've had to come up with a new plan, and here it is. So it's great, it's COVID safe, and it is a new way for us to be able to do it. So okay, here it is. So in order for it to be safe for you, we are now doing the consultation part of your treatment in a different room. So you now go to one of our reception foyer area. There's a video on a loop there. It goes through your consultation. It goes through all what the treatment's all about. It goes through your consent form. It goes through your care, and it goes through all the common questions that people ask us when they come to us. So a lot of them are actually dealt with. I anticipate the questions that you're going to ask, and they're dealt with in advance. And then if you have any particular concerns, then we will ask you to sort of keep them brief so that we can deal with them when you come into the room. So that will hopefully keep your visit into the clinic down to less than an hour. So, 90 minutes, that's an hour and a half. So if it's less than an hour, the exposure between the two of us will be less than an hour. I'll be double masking, as I have done always, plus a visor, and wearing my PPE. So from a safety point of view, you couldn't be safer. I'm following all the PPE COVID related safety guidelines that I've done 4 trainings for. So to make sure that you are safe with us. So that's how we're actually going to overcome this. So we'd be recommending that you come half an hour before your appointment time. I'll talk to you about this closer to the time, and so that I can put the numbing cream on you. You can watch the video for half an hour and I can be cleaning my clinic in between clients. So that'll keep the exposure to a minimum and keep us rocking over, ticking over. So I cannot see more than 4 clients in any one day. Realistically, to make allowances for starting the day, the cleaning in between clients, for me to have a coffee break, to have a lunch break, something I used to forego before, for me to have an afternoon tea break and to be out of there by 6 o'clock in the evening time. 4 clients is my max in any one day. And anybody who has cancer and is very, very worried, get in touch with us. We will make sure that you can come at 7 a.m, 8 a.m. You can have been in and gone before the world has even woken up. You'll be the first person into the clinic. Your exposure will be really reduced and kept to an absolute minimum. Most people are being inside in bed at this point anyway. So, yeah, there you go. That's our big news. That's the first thing. Right. Right. So next thing is our newsletter. I rarely send newsletters. I only ever send newsletters to my clients, or those of you who have actually booked into us before. You're automatically put onto a database. You can opt out at any time. I don't spam you with newsletters every 2 days. So when your patch test is arranged and posted out to you, our consent form is actually going to be posted out as well. I want you to have that filled in before you come. Then there is another 2 pages. Now that's 4, what's in it? Just this here. 1, 2, 3. 4 pages of a consent form. Then we have another 2 pages here of a questionnaire that we want you to fill in. That will be sent out to you as well. And also sent out to you as well is your aftercare. And your aftercare is another 2 pages. So that will actually reduce the whole explaining of what you are supposed to do. And that will reduce the amount of time that you have in our clinic. So all those documents will all be sent out in your envelope with your patch test. So all of that writing and form filling will all be done in advance of you coming to us. So that's the next thing. Then you arrive half an hour before your appointment. If you have anything that you specifically want to chat about while you're numbing up and looking at the video inside in the reception area, if you have anything that you specifically want to speak to me about that's not covered in any of those other bits and pieces, well then you can actually just write them down on a notebook and we will deal with them as soon as you walk into our clinic. And then you will be treated in a COVID, and you'll have your treatment done, which is COVID specific safety. So there you go. So if there's any other, or if there's any changes, or if there's anything that I need to inform you about, I will update all of my clients on our client base from our database. Anybody who's made a booking online automatically goes into our database, and then you have the option then to unsubscribe if you don't want to get any emails from us. But as I say, once a year is about as many as I send. It's just that I needed to give you some updates. I wanted to make contact with all of my clients, which I did as well in the last lockdown because things were changing so quickly, and things are not changing as fast on this time, but there are things that are a bit more streamlined. So there you go. And you know, I don't have somebody to come in to clean my clinic in between each client. I'm doing all of that. So I'm not sitting inside in the room waiting for clients to come. I'm actually feverishly beavering away all the while. So it's only me doing the cleaning. So we need to keep the amount of traffic into the clinic reduced as possible. So I haven't got somebody in to do the cleaning in between each client. So it's me. So those of you who are on the ball, yes, I reopened the online bookings yesterday for February and March, and it's just heavy traffic. People are willing to wait. I'm just praying that Micheál Martin doesn't put us into lockdown. But you know what? We're all have to be very tolerant at times like this. There's no point in losing the plot, least of all me. So within the confines of safety, I will either open late or open early or just push the appointments out. We can get around it. You know what, guys? In the grand scheme of things, eyebrows can wait. I know they're important. I'm the first person to say how important they are. They frame our face. And for our cancer chemotherapy, the clients, they are nearly more important than their wig. But yes, absolutely. I really, really, really want you to be reassured that you will be accommodated. It's out of my control if the government puts us into lockdown. Cancer chemotherapy clients and emergencies, I can certainly open for at any time. They're considered emergencies, but for the most part, well, actually, I've been closed all the time. I haven't needed to open at all. Even the cancer chemotherapy clients have decided not to come, even though they've been given permission by their oncologists. So, yeah, so that's it. Right, that's the end of Coffee Talk for today. I'm going to finish this.